A very warm welcome to you all to a reception celebrating the birthday anniversary of His Majesty the late King Bhumipol Day, National Day of the Kingdom of Thailand and Thailand's Father's Day. The embassy is grateful to be surrounded by our American friends from the administration, Congress, and other sectors, ambassadors and colleagues from embassies, including the Thai community in the Washington, D.C. area. To start off the program, I would like to invite Mrs. Patrawan Wechasa, Chargé d'Affaires of the Royal Thai Embassy to the Kingdom of Thailand on stage to deliver her remarks.
Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for South and Southeast Asia, the Honorable Tammy Duckworth, Senator for Illinois, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Sawadika. Good evening. It is a great honor for me to extend a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us for this special evening. It is a pleasure to see many friends of Thailand in this room. Today, we celebrate the National Day of the Kingdom of Thailand and commemorate the birthday anniversary of His Majesty the late King Bhumipol Day. Today is also Father's Day for Thailand, and this day, the United Nations marks the World Soil Day in honor of His Majesty the late King Bhumipol for his lifelong works in the field of soil resources development, in particular agriculture development. His Majesty the late King Bhumipol, who was born in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and passed away in October last year, had been father of the Thai nation. His passing was a great loss to the people of Thailand. During the period of grief, we appreciated our American friends for being by our side. The Thai people appreciated Secretary of Defense James Mattis for representing the United States at the royal cremation ceremony in Thailand this past October as the special envoy of President Donald Trump. We were touched by the warm personal message that President Trump conveyed to His Majesty King Vajiralongkorn on this occasion. In his message, the President honored His Majesty the late King Bhumipol as a lifelong friend of the United States. The Thai people also appreciated the friendship extended by the U.S. Congress. We were touched by the resolution honoring in praise and remembrance the extraordinary life, steady leadership, and remarkable 70-year reign of King Bhumipol Day of Thailand that the Senate unanimously passed in March this year. The Senate Resolution number 9, which consigned with King Rama IX, will be remembered as an important event in the history of the relations between our two countries. I wish to pay special tribute to Senator Orrin Hatch, the President pro tempore of the U.S. Senate, for his leadership behind this resolution. I also thank all the co-sponsors, including Senator Tammy Duckworth, who is with us this evening for this support. Senator Duckworth, thank you very much. Distinguished guests, His Majesty the late King Bhumipol had been a true friend of the U.S. and a strong supporter of the Thai-U.S. relationship throughout his 70-year reign. His Majesty had laid a strong foundation for our alliance that has stood the test of time and have grown from strength to strength. This year, we have seen a series of high-level engagement between the two countries. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson visited Thailand in August, as Secretary of Commerce Wilbur Ross visited Thailand in September. Likewise, Foreign Minister and Commerce Minister of Thailand paid visit to Washington. Secretary of Defense Mattis met with top Thai defense leaders. High-level officials of both countries have been in regular contacts. This positive momentum culminated in a successful visit of the Prime Minister of Thailand to Washington, D.C. in early October. During the visit, the Thai Prime Minister had extensive discussions with President Trump and many cabinet members on how to strengthen our alliance and work together to take many challenges in the Indo-Pacific region and beyond. I want to thank my colleagues from various U.S. government agencies for their full support. The Thai Prime Minister was very touched by the warm welcome from the U.S. For Thais, sincere friendship means a lot. Distinguished guests, I am confident in the future of the Thai-U.S. alliance. Next year, we will celebrate 200 years anniversary of the first contact between our two countries during the time of King Rama II and President James Monroe. Since then, Thailand and the U.S. have always been great and good friends. But our relationship is not just about the past. It is a relationship that is forward-looking and future-oriented. We must work closer together to achieve stronger alliance for common security and closer economic partnership for common prosperity that our leaders envisioned. This is a spirit that will drive the alliance forward. Strong and vibrant Thai-U.S. alliance will benefit the Indo-Pacific region and will contribute to the ASEAN-U.S. partnership. And here, I would like to pay tribute to Dr. Surin Pisuwan, former Foreign Minister of Thailand and ASEAN Secretary General, who passed away last week. Dr. Surin was a good friend of the U.S. and a strong supporter of the ASEAN-U.S. strategic partnership. He believed that for ASEAN to be successful in maintaining peace and stability in Southeast Asia and beyond, ASEAN must be united and have constructive partnerships with all major powers, not least the United States. Distinguished guests, I am confident that our defense alliance will be further strengthened. Our cooperation on strategic issues of common interest will be even closer. Our economic partnership has a bright prospect. We will work closely to increase the two-way trade and investment that will benefit our peoples. Today, investment from Thai companies in the U.S. stands at around $6 billion and growing, spans across 25 states, and contributes to over 60,000 jobs in America. Thailand sees the U.S. as a key partner for our future. Thailand is working to upgrade our competitiveness. The U.S. is a world leader in science and technology, innovation, research and development. We will look forward to strengthening collaboration with the U.S. on this issue. We will work to further strengthen the people-to-people ties. Many of you here are good friends of Thailand, and I would like to thank all of you for your contribution. I would like to give a special recognition to the Thai American community that has played a very important part in strengthening the ties between our two peoples and cultures. My special appreciation goes to Senator Tammy Duckworth for honoring us with your presence today. You have been an inspiration for many Thai Americans who will one day emerge as future leaders that will take our relation forward. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I want to conclude with words of wisdom from the speech delivered by His Majesty the late King Bhumipol on a joint session of the U.S. Congress in June 1960, which is applicable to our current relation as follows. Our two countries have had the best of relations. They started with the coming of your missionaries, who shared with our people the benefits of modern medicine and the knowledge of modern science. These soon led to official relations. and to treaty between the two nations. That treaty dates as far back as 1833. In view of the present world tension and the feeling of uncertainty apparent everywhere, it is my sincere feeling that the time is ripe for an even close cooperation. It will demonstrate to the world that we are one in purpose and conviction, and it can only lead to one thing, mutual benefit. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now I have a pleasure to invite our guests of honor to deliver their remarks. First is Dr. Joseph Felter, Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for South and Southeast Asia. Dr. Felter, you have the floor.
สวัสดีครับ คุณพัทรวัน thank you for your hospitality and for this invitation. It's Thai National Day, but I'm told it's also the first anniversary of the late King's birthday, as well as Thai Father's Day. Senator Duckworth, it's really an honor to join you here tonight. You've been a real inspiration for so many of us, especially veterans, and I really appreciate your extraordinary service, past and present. So upon koi UT protect Thai lai do. Willapom protect or Willapom ben Tahanbok no represent Pamfuka Tahan Thai T Pakdai like up Naratiwa, La Shukla, La Hatyai, La Pakistan, Pak Nur, Pongchol protect Thai. Pom Kibwa protect Thai ben protect Soe Tusu. That Kong Thai then Kong DT Su. That Ahan Thai then Ahan Aloy Tisu. So it's believed that the first official contact between the United States and Thailand occurred in 1818 when an American ship captain visited the country, then called Siam. And this ship captain had a letter from our President James Monroe at the time. Our relationship only grew after this. Next year will mark the 200th anniversary of our deep, diverse, and mutually beneficial relationship. Thailand is our oldest treaty partner in Asia, and the United States remains committed to maintaining our enduring relationship with Thailand, as well as friendship with the Thai people. Okay. It's been an eventful year for the U.S.-Thailand alliance, as Kun Pracharan has described, and one that has witnessed a range of important events underscoring the strength of our relationship. Prime Minister Prayut visited in October, as we heard. We've had several cabinet-level visits, as we heard, and it's just been an outstanding year. The Defense Department hosted a formal bilateral strategic dialogue here in July, and we look forward to hosting our defense strategic talks here in a couple of weeks. Okay, at the Defense Department, we are working to support the Royal Thai Armed Forces regional leadership role in areas such as maritime security and humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. Significantly, we hold more than 130 joint military exercises with Thailand. And next year, the Indo-Pacific's largest military exercise, Bhumipol, which I think some of you have participated in, will take place in Thailand. And the U.S. participation next year will be the largest it's been in over 6 years. Okay, this past year also marked the cremation of His late Majesty King Bhumipol. The King, as we've heard, was a true friend to the United States. As many of us know now, he was born in Cambridge, Massachusetts, right near Harvard University, and his loss was born across our country as well this year. I had the great privilege of traveling with Secretary James Mattis to Thailand for the royal cremation ceremony in October. The Secretary was deeply and personally honored to represent the United States and pay his respects on behalf of all Americans to His late Majesty, as well as the people of Thailand. To honor His late Majesty's legacy, we look forward to working with Thailand to further expand the bounds of our partnership and to meet the challenges of the new century together, as we have met so many others throughout the history of our close relationship. You heard about King Bhumipol's speech to Congress in 1960 from Kun Pracharan. Well, also in that same speech, he said this. He said that friendship of one government for another is an important thing, but it is friendship of one people for another that assuredly guarantees peace and progress. So, in closing, we endeavor to embrace this sage advice of the late king and remain committed to maintaining our close friendships with Thailand at every level. Thank you, and Kapung Chau.
Thank you very much, Dr. Felter. Our next guest of honor from Congress is well loved by the Thai community in Illinois and throughout the United States. I have a pleasure and honor to invite Senator Tammy Duckworth to deliver her remarks. Senator.
It's such a pleasure to be here today. What a wonderful crowd. I just wanted to say how proud I am to have been born in Thailand, to be Thai American. It is also, there's a saying in Thailand that you are lucky to have been born during the reign of Rama the Ninth. And I was very lucky to have been born during the reign of Rama the Ninth. I strive to be the best public servant that I can in my job. I try to make sure that I take care of the people of Illinois and the United States and represent in the most humblest of way as a public servant. But the first person that I really learned that lesson from was from Rama the Ninth. As a child, I watched as he put his country and his people first, always. As a child, I remember watching him travel the countryside, endlessly, tirelessly, working for the people of Thailand, and at every time knew how cherished they were in his heart. He was our father, and he was a father to the entire nation. And that is a lesson I keep with me even today. So it is an honor that I get to be the highest ranking Thai American in the United States government, but that does not mean that I should be the only one. And I see many young Thai Americans in the audience, and I hope that they too will enter public service and serve the people of the United States, but also the alliance with the wonderful Kingdom of Thailand. The future of this country and the future of Thailand are inextricably bound. If we want to be successful on a global stage, we must maintain relationships across the world, and especially in Asia. And so there is no stronger partnership, no stronger family bond than that between Thailand and the United States. And I hope that I get to personify that bond in my own very being as I see myself. Yes, I am American, but เชื้อ blood เป็นคนไทยนะคะ but my blood and where I was born I will never forget. So thank you to everyone who has supported me over the years. It is really truly a privilege. And I hope that as we move into the future, we keep the lessons of His Excellency Rama the Ninth in the forefront of everything that we do, remembering to serve the people, to love the people, and most of all, even as a leader, to be their servant. Thank you.
Senator, would you please come up on stage again for a toast, please? Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
May I propose a toast to His Majesty, the King of Thailand, and the President of the United States of America, and for our long-lasting relation.
อะไรเงี้ยต่อไปเราเขาหลังเขาไปนู่นนะเราเดินไปนู่นเดี๋ยวเราขนไปนู่นถ้าเขาลำเสร็จแล้วเราก็ขนมันจะต้องเป็นช่างต้องเป็นช่างในการต้องเป็นช่างอะไร
Ladies and gentlemen, the royal anthem of the Kingdom of Thailand and the national anthem of the United States of America.
ทรงพระเจริญทรงพระเจริญทรงพระเจริญ
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the garrulous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you very much. Our second American Thai. And this is our official program for tonight. We invite you all to enjoy Thai food from 8 Thai restaurants.